So I am going to discuss the part of geography and environment related questions of the ANUBHAV 3. Okay, so let's start. First question from the geography. It is regarding the Mahanadi river. So here first option is about Mahanadi river passes through the states of Chhattisgarh, Odisha and West Bengal. The second option is regarding Narmada river. It states that Narmada river is bounded by Vindhyas in the north and Maikala range in the east. Okay. And the third is upper reaches of the Godavari river are occupied by the Kadapa and Vindhyan sediments. Okay. So here statement 1 is wrong, statement 2 is correct and statement 3 is wrong. So here answer is only 1. So let's go into the explanation. Basically this Mahanadi river actually passes through Chhattisgarh and Odisha, but when it comes to basin of the Mahanadi river, it is a 90% of Mahanadi river's basin is in Odisha and Chhattisgarh, but small part of the basin of the Mahanadi lies in Maharashtra and some part in Jharkhand as well as Madhya Pradesh. So here there is no correlation of West Bengal in case of Mahanadi. It is entirely entire course of Mahanadi is through either Chhattisgarh or Odisha. So here first statement is wrong. Second is with respect to Narmada. Narmada river is bounded by Vindhyas in the north and Maikala river in the east. So here I will, so this first this is about this diagram is about the basin of the Mahanadi river. Okay. So here we can say this is Odisha, this is Jharkhand, this is Chhattisgarh. Okay. Most of the basin is in these states only. Okay. Now let's go to the Madhya Pradesh Narmada river. Okay. So this is the Narmada valley. Okay. This is the Narmada valley. Just a minute. Okay. This is the Narmada river. We can say here. Okay. You can see the Narmada river here. We can see Narmada river here. Okay. And here it is a Vindhya range. Okay. You see this is the Vindhya range and this is the Maikala range. What the statement say that on the north side there are Vindhyan range and on the east side there is a Maikal range. So the statement 2 is correct. Okay. Now regarding statement 3 of the this question, the upper reaches of the Godavari pass through Chhattisgarh, West Bengal is occupied by Kadapa and Vindhyan range. This is actually not true because when it comes to Godavari, the upper reaches of the Godavari are covered by basalt chalcedony. See, Godavari originates in Maharashtra and Maharashtra is covered by Deccan Plateau. Okay, and the entire Deccan Plateau or Deccan Trap is made up of the basalt. So the upper reaches of the Godavari is the sediments are of basalt, chalcedony, chert. Okay, and in case of lower reaches there is a Kadapa and Vindhyan sediments. Okay, so this part is Kadapa and Vindhyan sediments is about lower reaches of the Godavari, not the upper. Okay, so here see this is the diagram which shows the sediment distribution of the Godavari river basin. Okay, and here upper this upper part is Deccan basalt. Okay, this part is a Deccan basalt. Okay, and lower parts, okay, lower part is made up of this blue part which is there Gondwana sediments. Okay, Vindhya and Gondwana sediments. So here statement 3 is also wrong. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, neodymium and praseodymium often seen in the news are rich sources of. Here basically answer is C. It is the rare earth elements. Okay, so basically they are very high purity rare earth elements which are found in India. Okay, basically when it comes to rare earth element or rare earth reserves, na, India is 5th in the world. Okay, but what is the issue? What issue with the Indian reserves of the rare earth elements? Basically, there are two issues, that wherever rare earth elements in India, these reserves are, means there is a presence of radioactivity in those reserves, and second, that extraction process, entire the means extraction process, means if we consider that entire supply chain, there are multiple stages, okay, of the extraction of the rare earth element, which are, and India India is not fully sufficient. So India, with the help of some Japanese companies, is trying to develop and trying to co-produce. Okay, so here it is about rare earth elements. And the third important thing is, India is blessed with almost 13 million tons of monazite sand across the coast of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. So basically, this out of, means almost 60% of the these sands consist of the rare earth oxides, of which if we go for the extraction of it, there comes a formation, we can extract neodymium and praseodymium. Okay, so this is about the question number 31. So let's go to next question. With reference to the different layers of the sun, consider the following pairs. First is a photosphere, which is the outermost layer. Second is the core, is the site of nuclear fusion. Corona, third is corona, usually not visible through the naked eye. Okay, here only pair second and pair third, they are correct. Okay, and this is wrong. Okay, because photosphere is not the outer layer. Okay, corona is the outer layer, outermost layer of the sun. Basically, this is the diagram, this is the image which shows the different layers of the sun. Okay, basically at core there is a, at core this is core, okay, which is the innermost part. After that there is a radiative zone, okay, inner layer, and there is a convection zone. Out of the outer layers, photosphere is the deepest, means here the inner layer of the sun ends. Okay, and of the outer layer, different outer layers of the sun, okay, the photosphere is the deepest layer of the outermost layer of the sun. Okay, after that there is a chromosphere. After photosphere there is a chromosphere, and there is a, after that this is the transition region, and above this transition region there is a corona. Okay, so photosphere, basically this part, photosphere, its temperature is between 6500 it's around 6500 Kelvin, and it is covered with kind of different granules. Okay, there are a presence of granules on this part. Okay, now when it comes to chromosphere, this chromosphere is about its layer which is above 400 km to 2100 km above this photosphere. Okay, this chromosphere. And now let's go to corona. Okay, this corona, which is the outermost layer of the sun, basically this is around 2100 km above this photosphere. This corona is 2100 km above the photosphere. Okay, here temperature is around 50,000 Kelvin. Okay, and this corona layer can't be seen with the naked eye. Whatever sun's layer is seen, that is basically a photosphere. We all see this photosphere. It can't be seen with naked eyes. Okay, so except during solar eclipse. During solar eclipse we can see the corona layer. Okay, now the core, here second pair is correct. Basically, the core is the sign of nuclear fusion and it is the energy which is the source of solar energy. Okay, and we all get energy from this process, this nuclear fusion. And this corona usually not visible with the naked eye. This is also true. Whatever layer of the sun we see, that is actually the photosphere, not corona. Okay, so here answer is only 2 pairs. Correct. Now let's go to next question. With reference to the ocean water, consider the following statements. Statement 1, temperature of the ocean water steadily declines with increasing depth and the amount of sunlight, statement 2, amount of sunlight reduces with increasing depth of the ocean. Okay, here statement 1 is incorrect, okay, and statement 2 is correct. Okay, so here answer is D. Here answer is D. Now we'll go into explanation. Okay, so when it comes to ocean water, basically in middle and lower latitudes there are basically 3 layers. Okay, 3 layers. The first layer is basically 500 meter deep from the sea surface water, sea surface. Okay, and its temperature is between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, second means I am talking about this layer. I am talking about this layer. Okay, this part. This part I am talking, this part. Okay, this is the first layer. Okay, and here temperature is between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, the second layer at this which is this part. Here what happens, the temperature rapidly starts declining. Here you can see the temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius, 2022, and here directly within 500 meters it gets to 4 degrees Celsius or 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. Means this is the area where there is a very high decrease in the temperature. Okay, sharp decline in the temperature, and here the temperature decline we can see 4 degrees Celsius, this is 8 and this is 20. After that there is a relatively very slow decline in the temperature from 4 to 0. Okay, so here first statement which says that there is a steady decline in the temperature of the sea water, this is not correct. Okay, but the statement 2 is correct because the amount of sunlight reduces with increasing depth of the ocean. As there is a density of the sea water increases, it is difficult for sunlight to get penetrate after certain period of time. So this is the reason that amount of sunlight reduces with increasing, and that is the reason answer is D. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is correct. एक लेवल के बाद सनलाइट का अंदर पेनेट्रेशन विद इन सी वाटर बहुत कम हो जाता है. वी कैन सी ऑल द डार्क एट द बेस ऑफ द सी वाटर सी सरफेस. ओके, सो दैट दिस इज द रीजन सनलाइट का पेनेट्रेशन बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. ठीक है, सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट क्वेश्चन नंबर 33. Okay, so now it is about next question. With reference to the northeastern hills of the India, consider the following statements. Okay, first statement states that Patkai boom is hill is merged into Barail range. Okay, second, Garo Khasi Jaitia hills lie north to the Barail range. Third is Barail range separates Brahmaputra and Barak river basins. Okay, so here first statement is wrong, second statement is wrong, third statement is correct. Now, and answer is only one. How? We will discuss now. देखिए, the first statement क्या करता, what it says कि Patkai boom hill is merged into Barail range. Okay, So this Patkai boom, okay, this is the Patkai boom, okay, it merged into Naga Hills. If we see here, it is getting merged into Naga Hills. Bareil range is situated here, okay. Now second statement says that Garo, Khasi and Jaitiya hills lie north of the Bareil range. Basically, if we say Bareil range, this is the inclination, orientation of the Bareil range, and Garo, Khasi, Jaitiya, these hills basically situated to the southwest of the Bareil range. This is the orientation southeast or east of the Bareil range, okay. So answer statement 2 is correct. Bareil range, statement 3 is correct, okay. Bareil range separates Brahmaputra and Barak river valley. See, this is the course of Barak river basically. This is the Barak river valley. You can see this river, okay. This is the course of Barak river and this is our Brahmaputra, okay. This is the Brahmaputra river, okay. So and here there is a in between Bareil range, okay. So here we can see that Bareil range separates Brahmaputra on the northern side and Barak on the southern side, okay. So here statement 3 is correct. Now let's go to next question. Consider the following phenomenon: Arctic warming, subtropical westerly jet stream, North Atlantic oscillations, okay. How many of the above affect the winter precipitation in India, okay. So here basically answer is C, answer all 3, okay. How? Well, let's go into explanation, okay. Basically in winter, because of the western disturbances, we northwestern part of India as well as some part of the northern Himalayas get snowfall, and south Delhi as well as the northwestern part of India get rainfall. We all know that this happens in winter because of the western disturbances, okay. Now what is the correlation between the Arctic warming and winter precipitation in India? Basically what happens, because of the Arctic warming, the polar jet streams, they are basically circular in nature. But what happens because of the Arctic warming means they become more and more wavy, okay, wavy. And what happens as a result of this, these polar jet streams, there is a increasing tendency of merging them with the westerly jet stream, okay. So what happens because of this, the merging of the polar jet stream as well as the westerly jet stream, these westerly jet streams gets merged into polar jet stream, okay. And the these westerly jet streams up to certain extent are responsible for bringing these western disturbances or winter precipitation in India. So this is how this is correlated, okay. Now regarding the North Atlantic oscillation, okay. Basically before that we are supposed to know what is North Atlantic oscillation. North Atlantic oscillation refers to fluctuations in the differences of the atmospheric pressure at sea level between Iceland low and Azores Island high in the North Atlantic Ocean. Basically North Atlantic Ocean जो है वहाँ का हाई प्रेशर, मतलब सी लेवल पे हाई प्रेशर एंड लो प्रेशर, फॉर एग्जांपल इन आइसलैंड, वहाँ का जो हाई प्रेशर एंड लो प्रेशर में जो डिफरेंसेस है, ओके, उसको नॉर्थ दिस प्रेशर डिफरेंस, ओके, एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर डिफरेंस हमेशा चेंज होता रहता है, हाई एंड लो, इसका जो रेंज है दैट इज क्वाइट हाई, ओके. सो this is called as the North Atlantic oscillation, means fluctuation, and these fluctuation control the strength as well as the direction of the westerly winds, and these westerly winds basically are responsible from bringing moisture from Mediterranean or Caspian Sea, which ultimately shades these moistures into northwestern part of India in winter. So this is how there is a correlation between North Atlantic oscillation and winter precipitation in India. Okay, the third is about and subtropical westerly jet stream. This is obviously responsible. These are the subtropical westerly jet streams. They flow from west to east, and while flowing, they bring moisture from the Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea, and ultimately they shed these moistures into the northwestern part of India during winter. Okay, so this here answer is C. All the three are responsible for the winter precipitation in India. Now consider the following statements. Equator receives comparatively less insolation than the tropics. Here statement is 2 is sizable portion of the incoming solar radiation is lost while passing through the atmosphere due to absorption by cloud. Okay, here answer is A. Okay, why answer is A? Basically, what happens at equator? There is a higher rainfall. Equatorial region features, we know that there is almost a daily rainfall on in the afternoon. Okay, so what happens? Because of the rainfall, there is a high precipitation, high evaporation also. Okay, and what happens because of evaporation? There is a more number of clouds formation, and these clouds, what they do, that they reflect the sunlight or insolation, incoming solar radiation into the space again. More and more cloud, what happens? They reflect the more and more incoming solar radiation. This is the reason there is a less insolation in equatorial region as compared to the tropics. Okay, when it comes to same latitude, insolation will be more. Suppose there is if we consider two places on the same latitude, one is on a continent and other is on ocean. Okay, some is oceanic island. So at that time, insolation will be more on the continent part, because in the sea there will be more evaporation, more cloud formation. Okay, so this is how the correlation is. At equator के level पे या equator के latitude पे, वहाँ पे ज़्यादा evaporation होता है, ज़्यादा rainfall होता है, and उसी की वजह से ज़्यादा evaporation. So this is the reason cloud formation की वजह से equator पे कम insolation आता है. Okay, so here answer is A. This is a word map based question. Which one of the following countries is not a part of Nile river basin? Okay, here answer is A, Zambia. Okay, see, this is the Nile river basin. Okay, and which roughly covers this part of the Africa. This part. Okay, there is a Blue Nile, there is a Nile river. This part is the basin. Okay, but Zambia located is here. Okay, so this purely word map based question, Zambia is not part of Nile river basin. You can see it here also. This is Blue Nile, this is a White Nile. Okay, and which ultimately forms the Great Nile river. Okay, and Zambia is somewhere located here downside, and here it ends of Nile river basin. Okay, ठीक है. So here answer is Zambia. Now next question, consider the following statement. The focus of the earthquake is the point within the earth where seismic waves originates. Okay, the epicenter of the earthquake is the point on the earth surface which is directly above the focus or hypocenter, and Richter scale is the logarithmic scale used to measure the magnitude of the earthquake. How many of the given statements are correct? Here answer is C. All the three statements are correct. Okay, basically focus or hypocenter, this part, focus or hypocenter of the earthquake is the point within the earth where energy is released, earthquake's energy is released, okay, which is, that is the most intense point or origin of the earthquake, okay. Now regarding the epicenter, okay, see this diagram basically explains. This is the point or hypocenter or focus, okay, where energy of the earthquake is released, and this epicenter is the exact point directly above the hypocenter or focus on the surface of the earth, okay. So ये part हुआ epicenter and this is hypocenter. This is the point where, which is the first experiences earthquake waves on the earth. If this is the hypocenter or focus, यहाँ पे सबसे पहले earthquake की waves reach करेंगी and this will be felt by the people over here, okay. Now this is hypocenter and this is the epicenter, okay. ठीक है. And the third question is about Richter scale. Basically this Richter scale maps the magnitude of the earthquake, okay. This based on logarithmic scale, okay. Means if there is a 6 Richter scale earthquake and there is a 7 Richter scale earthquake, the intensity of the earthquake of 7 Richter scale magnitude will be 10 times the 6th one, okay. So this is the logarithmic scale, okay. And there is a other scale also for measuring the earthquake, that is the Mercalli scale. It is based on the intensity. The first is based on magnitude, the second is based on intensity, okay. So this Mercalli scale calculates the intensity of the earthquake based on the visible damage, okay. Mostly this Richter scale is used by scientists, and this is very rarely used, Mercalli scale, okay. So all the 3 statements are correct. You can see here, this is the focus or hypocenter, this is the epicenter, and these are the tectonic plates. This part is tectonic plates, this is the fault, okay. Means this is the fault from where the energy or focus energy get released, okay. Now let's go to next question. The Red Sea is red primarily due to, okay. Here the answer is A. Basically in Red Sea there is a blue green algae which is called as the Trichodecium erythrum, okay. And when there is this bloom of the algal, means there is a very high growth of this particular blue green algae which is called as the Trichodecium erythrum. After sometimes these algae get died, okay. So after the death of these blue green algae, they get a particular red color, okay. And because of that the Red Sea appears red, okay. Also there is one other protist which is called as the dinoflagellate. They also have, means give the red color to the Red Sea also. So here answer is basically, but that red color is mostly due to this particular blue green algae. After the death of this particular blue green algae, Red Sea get its red color, okay. Now so here answer is A. Now let's go to next question. Recently, west coast of the North America witnessed life-threatening storms primarily related to atmospheric rivers, okay. The question is about atmospheric rivers, okay. Here the statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct, and statement 3 is wrong, okay. So here answer is 1 and 2 only. The statement 1 is correct, 2 is correct, and 3 is wrong, okay. Basically what are the atmospheric rivers? They are the long narrow region in the atmosphere that transport the water vapor outside the tropics, okay. means these atmospheric river, their direction is basically from tropic to subtropic, and what they carry, they are the regions or streamlined regions in the atmosphere which carry moisture, okay, long and narrow regions, okay, which carry water vapor or moisture from tropics to subtropical region, okay. Their size as well as the strength keeps on varying, okay. There is a lot of variations in the size as well as the intensity, okay. And when these atmospheric rivers go for landfall, means from ocean they enter into the land, they shed their rainfall, okay, they shed their moisture, which ultimately result in rainfall as well as the snowfall, okay, okay. But what happens certain time that some very rarely that some atmospheric rivers are very strong, okay, they cause extreme rainfall and extreme flood, okay, mudslides, okay, catastrophic damage. This happens rarely, okay, but there is a possibility, okay. But and they also cause snowfall in certain regions, in subtropical regions, okay. So here statement 2 is correct, that they are the weak systems, most of them are weak, rarely they are strong, okay, strong, which called catastrophe, which can cause catastrophe, okay. So here statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct, and rivers are primarily occur during summer, this is not correct, they occur in winter, okay, okay. There is no primary, matlab this is not the correct, they primarily occur, they can happen in any time including winter, okay. This ultimately recently these atmospheric rivers caused in December in US California lot of floods and havoc, okay. So in December, that means it happens in winter also, okay. So यहाँ पे पहला और दूसरा statement wrong है, third is correct, sorry first and second statement correct है, third is wrong, okay. So this is just a US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, US Department of इनका representation है, which depicts the statistics about the atmospheric rivers, okay. Basically the next question is about specific type of aurora that was observed by in Ladakh recently, and this was different from this aurora, the color of this aurora was very different from the auroras observed at high latitudes. Which of the following is the type of observed type of aurora? Here the answer is C, stable aurora red arc, okay. Actually this there are Hanley and Merak observatories in Ladakh, okay. So this is also called as the dark sky reserve in Ladakh, okay. What happens at that observatory, it was observed that a red aurora, which what does this basically means? Bright lights in the sky when sun particles interact with the earth's magnetic field. What happens? Basically these aurora generally happens in the northern hemisphere, okay, at polar regions. And why do they happen in the polar regions only? The reason being sun solar flares जो होती है, वहाँ से जो सोलर फ्लेयर्स होती है उनमें से जो प्लाज्मा होता है, द प्लाज्मा वो जो अर्थ के मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में जब एंटर करते हैं, व्हेन दैट पर्टिकुलर सोलर फ्लेयर्स और सन्स सोलर फ्लेयर्स एंटर इनटू द अर्थ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, दे at first they enter from the polar region, okay. That is the reason when they enter into the earth magnetic field, they interact with the earth's magnetic field in the polar region, which leads to the formation of aurora basically at poles, okay, okay. And this is very unusual phenomenon that at near so much of equator they are being observed, okay. This happens only in the case when that solar flares are very strong, okay. So they can be observed in the equatorial region. What happens that every sun has a cycle of solar flares of 11 years. What happened in that particular year? Sometimes solar flares are very intense, sometimes solar flares are very weak, okay. So when those solar flares are very intense in that particular cycle, that time this particular solar aurora can be observed in the equatorial regions also, only in the case when the solar flares are very strong, okay. So this was actually the image of the red aurora that was observed in the Ladakh. Okay, the question is about Fujiwara effect. Okay, if two tropical cyclones are undergoing Fujiwara effect, which of the following outcome is not possible? Okay, the answer here is C. ओके इसके पहले हमें यह जानना चाहिए कि फुजीवारा इफेक्ट ये क्या है. ओके बेसिकली व्हेन टू ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स और ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स को यूएस में हरिकेन्स भी कहते हैं एंड ईस्टर्न एशिया में या चाइना में उसे टाइफून्स भी कहते हैं. ओके सो suppose it happens sometimes that two tropical cyclones are spinning in the same direction. Okay, they pass close to each other. Okay, they become very close to each other, and what happens in that particular case, they make a common center or a common point and around which they start dancing. Okay, so in this Fujiwara effect, this was basically put forward by the Japanese scientist called as the Fujiwara. So that is the reason it is called Fujiwara effect. Okay, so when these particular tropical cyclones come close to each other, okay, spinning in the same direction, there are three distinct possibilities. Okay, the first possibility is that first tropical cyclone is a lot more stronger than other. Okay, so what happen in this case, that smaller tropical cyclone will orbit and finally crash into the larger one. Okay, second possibility, that here what is the crash. Okay, and the second possibility is that there are two cyclones which are means roughly of similar strength. Okay, they gravitate to common point. Okay, they gravitate to common point and merge or spin around each other. Okay, or they break their path. Okay, they break their path. One cyclone intensifies. Here the possibility is one cyclone intensifies and the other weakens or get crash into each other. Both cyclones spin each other while and shooting off their own paths. Okay, this happens in case of two cyclones which are of similar strength basically. Okay, similar strength. Okay, and the third is cyclones maintain their individual identities and rotate around common point. Okay, so this also happen, this in case of similar lot of similar strength or roughly similar strength. Okay, but it will never happen that one cyclone will become a stationary and other will rapidly increase in the speed. This will not happen. Okay, nothing get stationary. Cyclones are not meant to be stationary. Okay, so here answer is C. So this is actually the phenomenon which shows image which shows the Fujiwara effect. Here you can see the cyclone which is quite larger and the other which is smaller. Okay, or maybe a similar strength they are. Now let us go to next question. Consider the following statement with respect to recently launched green credit program. Okay, so here the first, it is a market based mechanism to incentivize voluntary environmental actions. Second is green credits can be earned by both individual as well as the companies. Third, green credits can be used as a collateral for getting a loan, okay, from scheduled bank. Here statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct and statement 3 is wrong. Now let us go into the explanation. Yes, it is true that it is a market based mechanism. Okay, market based mechanism to incentivize voluntarily environmental actions. Before I want to tell something about this green credit program. Basically this program is the part of lifestyle for environmental movement or initiative which was propounded by our Prime Minister. Okay, so it comes under the Ministry of Environmental for environment, forest and climate change. Okay, basically इसका purpose क्या है this life movement का? To promote the environmental friendly practices that are rooted in tradition as well as conservation. Here whatever the traditional wisdom we Indians have in case of conservation as well as environmental friendly practices, okay, that needs to be utilized for the promoting lifestyle, that is better lifestyle or a green lifestyle. This was the basic theme or idea behind this lifestyle conservation. So under this movement, this particular green credit program was initiated. Indian Council for Forestry Research and Education is the nodal agency. देखिए इस प्रोग्राम में क्या होता है बेसिकली कि देयर इज अ ग्रीन क्रेडिट रजिस्ट्री एंड ट्रेडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म. ओके, this particular nodal agency, what they have created one platform called as the green credit registry and trading platform. So इस पे क्या है, the one who is supposed to whether individual or whether companies or whether a private industries, they are supposed to register their own project. Okay, and this particular project will be initiated by the verified by the administrator from this particular institute, which is the Indian Council for Forestry Research and Education. So after verification क्या होगा, जो administrator है he will or she will issue green credit to particular that individual or that company, and they can sell or exchange sell or buy that green credit from this particular platform. Okay, green credit registry and trading platform. Okay, so since we can sell or purchase those green credits, it is certainly the market based mechanism, and green credits can be purchased earned by individual companies, private, but this is not the true. Okay, it cannot be used as a collateral from the, see, we can purchase it from that particular platform called as the green credit registry and trading platform. Okay, but this cannot be used in the loan from the scheduled commercial banks. Okay, already there are a lot of NPAs in India, so this is not true. So here answer is only 2. With reference to the urea gold, consider recently launched by Government of India, consider the following statement. Okay, here it uses the coating of nanoparticles to increase nutrient intake. It aims to address the sulfur deficiency. It reduces the nitrogen use efficiency. Okay, basically यहाँ पे the first statement is wrong, second statement is correct, third statement is wrong. Okay, so here answer is A. Okay, देखिए this particular urea gold is coated with sulfur, not nanoparticles. Okay, okay, and yes, the purpose of this urea gold to address the sulfur deficiency in soil. This is the reason it is coated with sulfur. Okay, and it basically increases the nitrogen use efficiency of urea for balancing the profile, not reduces, this is not correct. It increases the efficiency of nitrogen use efficiency of the urea. So here only statement 1 is correct. See, this is the actually the urea gold packing. Okay, here you can see this percentage of sulfur, percentage of nitrogen, it is 17%. Okay, here you can also see the actual cost is around 1500 rupees, but what is the Government of India subsidy? Around 1200 rupees, and actual price is 266. So here also clearly mentioned. Let's go to next question. The protected area is located in the Nalla Malla hill ranges. The two wildlife sanctuaries, namely Rajiv Gandhi and Gundla Brahmeshwaram, constitute the protected area. River Krishna traverses through this protected area. So which is this reserve? Okay, this is Nagarjun Sagar, Sri Shailam. Okay, so This is the Nagarjun Sagar Srisailam. See, this is the largest tiger reserve of India, okay, and it has it was basically in the news recently for killing of tribals. Some inhabitant of that living in the forest area, basically they have killed the tigers, killed the tiger and burnt it down. So the ashes were recovered by forest and some legal actions were taken. But basically this was the reason this particular tiger reserve was in news, and it is home to around 70 to 75 tigers as per the forest department, okay. So you can see this is the actual area. Actual area of the Nagarjun Sagar tiger reserves, okay, and this is the means its position in all India South Indian map, okay. ठीक है. So here answer is D. So in the next question is about leopard, first ever survey of snow leopards in India. Consider the following statement. They are found in the western as well as the eastern Himalayan states. Ladakh has the highest number of the snow leopards in India. How many of the statements are correct? Okay. So here answer is both. Okay, both statements are correct. See what happened, that this snow leopard population assessment project was carried out between 2019 to 2023, and the results were sometimes that two tropical cyclones are spinning in the same direction, okay. They pass close to each other, okay, they become very close to each other, and what happens in that particular case, they make a common center or a common point and around which they start dancing, okay. So in this Fujiwara effect, this was basically put forward by the Japanese scientist called as the Fujiwara, so that is the reason it is called Fujiwara effect, okay. So when these particular tropical cyclones come close to each other, okay, spinning in the same direction, there are three distinct possibilities, okay. The first possibility is that first tropical cyclone is a lot more stronger than other, okay. So what happened in this case, that smaller tropical cyclone will orbit and finally crash into the larger one, okay. Second possibility, that here what is the crash, okay, and the second possibility is that there are two cyclones which are means roughly of similar strength, okay, they gravitate to common point, okay, they gravitate, assess their accurate near accurate number. So forest officials used camera trap method or identical identification of the unique individual methods, means some methods were combined and ultimately it led to the assessment of the this is the actually the range, this is actually the range we can see from here, from eastern Himalayas to western Himalaya. They also found in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. So this is the range of the snow leopards. So here eastern as well as the western Himalayas. With reference to the lichens, consider the following statements, okay. So lichens are considered as a good indicators of the air pollution, and second, lichen blooms are usually associated with the areas having poor air quality. Here the answer is C. Okay, the statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is incorrect. Okay, why? Basically, lichens are very sensitive to the air pollution. Okay, so whenever there is a air pollution, there will be decline in the population, not the bloom of the lichen. Okay, so they are very sensitive to the air pollution. Okay, basically lichens is a symbiotic living between fungus and algae, or fungus or cyanobacteria, that is blue green algae, and that fungal part is called as the mycobiont part, and the non-fungus part is a photobiont. Okay, okay, when basically that atmospheric pollutants like sulfur dioxide or nitrogen dioxide, they are lichens are basically very sensitive to this particular those air pollutants, and that is the reason whenever there is air pollution, there is a rapid decline in the population of lichens. So here the statement 2 is incorrect, but because there is a lichen no bloom, there is a decline in the population. Okay, so here the statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is wrong. Okay, this is basically the image of lichen, how they are formed in the regions or on the tree also they get formed. Consider the following biomass: sugarcane juice, beta heavy molasses, C heavy molasses. How many of the above can be used to produce ethanol as per the national biofuel policy? Okay, so here answer is C, all 3. Okay, now see, basically this national biofuel policy 2018, what is its basic objective? To achieve the 20% blending of the biofuels with fossil fuels by 2030, but later on this 2030 target was changed to 2025. Means we are supposed to achieve 20% of the ethanol blending of biofuels by 2025. Second objective, to ensure the consistent and sufficient supply of domestic feedstock for producing biofuels. Okay, and to address this objective, what they have done, they have included lot of raw materials which can be used to produce बायोफ्यूल. ओके, इसमें शुगर केन जूस है, बीट है, स्वीट सॉर्गम है, स्टार्च है, कॉर्न है, कसावा है, डैमेज्ड फूड ग्रेन्स है, रॉटन पोटैटोस है. ओके, सो हियर शुगर केन जूस is also there. Okay, and these particular biofuels are categorized into first generation, to second generation, third generation, based on advanced and raw material used, nature of the fuel and raw materials used. Okay, so basically this heavy molasses, what is the beta heavy or C heavy molasses? They are basically, molasses is a viscous substance that is obtained from refining of the sugar cane into sugar. Whenever sugar cane is processed into sugar, during that process, from the sugar cane juice there is some viscous fluid is being produced, that is called as the molasses. Okay, whatever the ethyl alcohol which is used in alcohol beverages, that is 95% pure. Okay, that is called as the rectified spirit. But in case of blending, when it comes to blending with the petrol, that is called as the that alcohol is 99% pure. Okay, so this sugarcane juice, when we convert it into sugar, during that process only this heavy molasses and C heavy molasses is produced. Basically sugarcane जो होता है उसमें total fermentable sugar जो है इसका content है is around 14%. Okay, this total fermentable sugar which consists of the sucrose, glucose and fructose, basically whenever there is a sugar making process, most of the sugar is removed, this 14% is removed, but still there is some part left, that is which viscous part left in that sugar, that is called as the molasses. Okay, so molasses, whenever means formation of the molasses means more and more sugar is removed, there is a progressive uncrystallization of that molasses. Okay, that is called as the molasses stages. Okay, so here answer is C. With reference to the coal gasification, consider the following statement. Coal gasification is the process of converting solid coal into synthetic gas. Methane is the largest component, and coal gasification help in reducing natural gas imports. The 4 is Government of India has a target of coal gasification of 100 million tons by 2030. So here statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is wrong, third is correct, 4 is correct. Okay, so here only 3. Okay, now let us go into explanation. This is true that the process of converting solid coal into synthetic gas is called as the coal gasification. Okay, what happens in this? The coal is partially oxidized, okay, with oxygen or steam or CO2. Okay, coal is partially oxidized with oxygen, air or steam. Okay, this which ultimately led to the formation of synthetic gas. Okay, so here the methane is the large. This is wrong. Basically ये जो synthetic gas होता है उसमें carbon monoxide is between 30 to 60%. After that hydrogen is between 25 to 30%, and उसके बाद carbon dioxide and बाद में methane आता है. Okay, so this statement is wrong. Okay, the third statement, coal gasification can help in reducing the natural gas imports into India. Obviously the synthetic gas can be used for multiple purposes. Okay, for example, it is used in steel making, it can replace the coking coal. Okay, it can be used to generate the energy or chemical feedstock. Okay, it can be used in hydrogen. Okay, the hydrogen which is produced, 25 to 30% hydrogen. So we are heading towards the hydrogen economy, hydrogen fuel cell. So ultimately this will help in reducing the natural gas imports, and obviously this synthetic gas was basically in use only because of this, that government has kept target of 100 million tons by 2030. So this is also true. Okay, so here only 3 statements are correct. There are certain concerns with respect to synthetic gas. इसमें से the formation, the process, manufacturing process of the synthetic gas is basically, it is very CO2 emissions, lot of CO2 emission. Second, there is a very water intensive process. Okay, gasification. So scientists or many environmentalists have expressed concerns regarding the same. Okay, now let's go to next question. That saltwater crocodile is the it is about the saltwater crocodile. It is the largest reptile in the world. Second is the found only in Bhitarkanika and Andaman Nicobar, and it is listed as endangered. Okay, so here statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is wrong, statement 3 is 3 is also wrong. Okay, basically this is largest reptile in the world. This is true. Out of means this is largest reptile. Okay, there are 17 different species of the saltwater reptiles. Okay, so इनमें से ये saltwater crocodile is largest. Okay, now the second is Bhitarkanika National Park and Andaman. This is wrong. They have a very large habitat like eastern coast of India, Australia, Indonesia. They are found in all these areas. Okay, whenever UPSC says or a question says only, now we have to be alert. Okay, whether it is actually means the case or not. Okay, so please keep watch on this particular only word. Okay, now the saltwater crocodile is listed as endangered. This is wrong actually. As per IUCN red list, it is least concerned species. Okay, but in case of wildlife, see, as per IUCN this is least concerned. Okay, but in case of Wildlife Protection Act of India, it is a scheduled 1. Okay, which means it is endangered. Okay, and it is given very highest protection. Schedule 1 means it is given highest level of protection, okay, and very harsh penalties in case of killing of or smuggling or poaching of these animals, okay. So this represents, you know, quite kind of a divergence between the IUCN red list and our WPA schedule, okay. So please be aware of this particular difference. Whatever the prominent animals are in the news, okay, if there is any animal or any kind of majestic or flagship animal in the news, please check the WPA status or IUCN red status, okay, red list status, or in which prominent habitat of India they form. So be aware of this particular thing. Answer is A, only one. So this is the image of this saltwater crocodile. Which of the following state has declared goldfish as a state fish, okay. Here answer factual and current affairs related question basically. Answer is Gujarat. This is the image of goldfish, okay. So there are this also, its scientific name basically is a Protonibia dicanthus, okay, and it is its habitat means it can be founded in entire Indo-Pacific, okay. But why this particular fish was declared a state fish of Gujarat, okay, there are few reasons. First, it is very highly valued, okay, it is exported from the Gujarat to multiple nations, okay, Middle East or Europe or USA, okay, okay. Second thing, it is very costly, means its value or price ranges from 5,000 rupees per kg to 15,000 per kg, okay. And this particular liver part or particular parts of the body are more valued, okay. So this goldfish is considered. And third is important thing is that it has eating or consuming this fish is considered very healthy, okay, for its intrinsic value like eyesight or brain development of the child. So this is the reason it is very highly worthy, okay. So this is about goldfish, okay. Now consider the following statement regarding the Water Prevention and Control of the Pollution Amendment Act 2014, okay. Here basically it empowers the center to frame the rules to select the chairpersons of the State Pollution Control Board. Second, provisions of imprisonment added for several minor offences which were earlier neglected. Amended version of the act will be implemented in phased manner, starting with the states covered under Namami Gange program, okay. So here statement 1 is correct, okay, statement 2 is wrong, statement 3 is wrong. Here answer is A. Now let us go into the explanation. Basically this amendment 2024 amendment says that state government has to nominate, okay, nomination of the chairperson of the state State Pollution Control Board will be done by state government, but for that the rules and guidelines have been prescribed by the central government. This was there was a lot of opposition for this particular provision. That is the reason this particular amendment was in news also. So this is but it empowers the center, okay. Second statement, the provision of imprisonment, actually this is reverse, okay. Many minor provisions or minor offences have been decriminalized, okay. Earlier what used to happen, that for minor offences there was a imprisonment of 3 months or there was a fine of 10,000, okay. But ultimately now what it amendment says that there will be penalty from 10,000 to 15 lakh, but in case of failure of paying this penalty will attract the imprisonment up to 3 years, okay. But in first instance where there will not be any kind of imprisonment, okay. Okay, now so statement 2 is wrong, okay. Now it is with respect to third statement, it states that from the states having Namami Gange program, this it will be implemented. This is wrong. This will be implemented only in Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan. So certainly Rajasthan is not part of Namami Gange program. So this is wrong. Here only statement 1 is correct. Okay. So let's go to next question. Consider the following statement. Animals living near the colder climates are generally bigger in size. Statement 2, larger organisms have smaller surface area to volume ratio than smaller organisms. Which one of the following statement is correct in respect of above statement? Okay, here answer is A. Okay, basically animals living in the colder climates are generally bigger. This is true. Okay, because as per the Bergman's rules in biology, animal's surface area, the body surface area of the animal is directly correlated with the rate of heat dissipation from the particular body. Okay, so what happens in case of the larger animals living in the polar areas or colder areas? What happens that larger animals have smaller surface area to volume ratio. Okay, the reason being smaller surface area to volume ratio, because they have very small ears or ear openings or small legs. Okay, like that. Okay, for the animals which are large in size, just remember just remind the image of polar bear. Okay, they have very large size of the body, but their hind limbs as well as the forelimbs are very small. Okay, relatively very small. Okay, what is the reason behind that? That when the surface area of the body to volume ratio is small, what happened in that case? There is radiation of the less heat. Okay, and for the animals living in the colder areas or living in the polar areas, there is a constant necessity to have a retain more and more heat. This is the reason. This is true. Okay, larger organisms have smaller surface area to volume ratio than smaller organisms. The reason being necessity of maintaining the heat, maintaining or retaining the heat. Okay, so this is as per the Bergman's rule. Okay, so statement 1 is correct. Now the UN World Restoration Flagship is an initiative under, okay, here answer is C, UN Decade on the Ecosystem Restoration. Okay, this particular UN decade on the ecosystem restoration, this is the program, joint program of United Nations Environmental Program as well as the FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, which is also the under the UN. Okay, is this particular restoration flagship ये है, there are 7 initiatives. Okay, 7 initiatives under this program. Okay, इसमें they are in Africa, in Asia also and Latin America. Okay, यहाँ पे अलग अलग 7 प्रोग्राम्स है जिनको रिस्टोरेशन फ्लैगशिप के अंडर मतलब इनिशिएटिव्स को लिया गया है. ओके, आई विल गिव 2 एग्जांपल्स लाइक इन केस ऑफ मेडिटेरेनियन रीजन, Mediterranean restoration of the Mediterranean forest initiative. Okay, okay, in case of Southeast Asia or South Asia, living Indus. Okay, it is aimed at reviving the aquatic ecosystem in the Indus river. Okay, so there are different initiatives in Africa or in Latin America, but just remember this is under the UN decade of the ecosystem restoration. Now the ecological networks approach under the convention of the migratory species differs from the traditional protected area approach in that it focus, here answer is B. This ecological networks approach, basically the Convention on Migratory Species is its third conference of parties was held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat last year. Okay, so in this particular conference or declaration of this conference, the emphasis was put forward on the ecological networks. Okay, ecological networks means in conservation of the migratory species. It highlighted the critical importance of area based connectivity, okay, for conservation as well as the management. See, there are certain migratory animals, they not only travel countries but continents. Okay, so for their migration, basically we need to ensure that they get proper connectivity, okay, ecological connectivity. See, but what is the issue that nowadays migratory species are facing crisis because of habitat destruction as well as the fragmentation of the habitat. What ultimately it is leading to? It is leading to difficulty in their dispersal, difficulties in the migration, difficulties in the genetic exchange. Okay, so to fight these issues faced by the migratory species, this particular ecological networks approach was taken in the Conference of Parties 13, which was conducted in the Gandhinagar last year. Okay, so now let's go to next question. This is about golden tigers. Statement 1 says that golden tigers have a unique blonde or a pale golden color and reddish strips instead of black strips found on the normal tiger. The statement 2, golden tigers have a recessive gene that affects their pigmentation. So here the answer is A. Okay, see, basically golden tiger is not a different subspecies. Okay, it is just a color form or a color variation, and this is very rare. Okay, recently what happened, few months back there was a sighting of golden tiger in the Kaziranga, okay, by the camera trap. Okay, so what happens, why this golden tiger form? Basically it's a recessive gene mutation. Okay, what happens because of this particular mutation, that there is a reduction, a lot of reduction in the melanin content on the body skin. Okay, and also this particular mutation, recessive gene mutation, impact the hair growth also. Okay, so what this particular type of mutation is called as the Agouti mutation, in which what happens in this particular protein is expressed in the skin. Okay, and this is the reason there is a reduction in the melanin content, as a result of which this tiger became golden. Okay, which is very rare. Okay, this is an image of the golden tiger which was trapped by the camera trap. Okay, so this was from my part, that is geography and environmental discussion. Thank you.